5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello and welcome, everyone, to Truth, Beer, and Podsequences. Truly hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving yesterday.
I'm still full.
Yes, I'm still full as well.
Yes.
Yes.
We're talking into the future, which is really weird.
It's Black Friday. Everybody
Yeah.
get out and grab your favorite stouts. Or
If
not.
you can.
If you can.
Crazy.
Ooh.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
So this is a podcast from my co-host and I. Listen to all the Cincinnati-based craft beer media that's out there.
Yes.
And then hopefully there aren't too many consequences from the hosts of the other podcasts and media for giving our spin on what it is they did. And of course, we always get together at a podcast host, and today we are back at Higher Gravity Summit Park, surrounded by the
Beer event boxes.
Yes.
Yes. We are days away from
Days.
beer event season officially starting, and I could not be more excited. Although the beer event boxes are taking up our normal podcasting space.
Yes.
However, I have been guaranteed that our space will be back by next week. People are,
Back.
even just as we've been sitting here, so many people
Did you
are
order to
walking
pick up
in
your
and
box from here?
No, I was doing that today. I did that on Tuesday when we recorded. Are
No.
we talking into the future still?
No,
I set my pickup location for
Here.
Wish.
Yeah, okay. That only makes sense.
I figure we're here every Tuesday anyway,
Right.
so it just makes the most sense. Yeah.
Yes, and so I am Marco. I'm a taproom manager here locally, and that other voice you heard belongs to the best co-host in Podcastlandia.
I'm Julia, and I am really looking forward to getting some authentic Mexican food from Taco Bell after this.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah, the authentic Mexican food. Let's see. Yeah, we said the Happy Thanksgiving, and we said Happy
about
Black
beer
Friday.
event,
Yeah, we did the...
There may still be a beer event box or two when this comes
possible.
out, so check.
It's actually you can ask.
Well,
what's the worst they could say?
is no, but they said
Well, it's probably not the worst.
Probably
They
not.
could could say something like "fuck off."
True.
You know.
But check Higher Gravity Craft House, HAUS.com. Look at the store, and if there's still a beer vent box left, buy it.
Or
I don't know why
just
you
ask.
wouldn't.
Walk in and ask.
Huh? But then you'll still have to order it online, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just walk.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
You can do that. You can do that from inside.
This is true. We have the technology.
Yeah, we have the technology.
Amazing.
Also, the thoughts and opinions on this podcast are ours and ours alone. They do not reflect any entity which we may be affiliated with, such as our full-time jobs or Higher Gravity. If you want to get at us about something that we've said, mentioned in the podcast, or you just want to shower us with gifts since it is the holiday season, we will tell you how to get at us at the end of the pod. Although, if you're listening, I think you can figure it out. Yeah. And then, for those of you who this is your first time, thank you. The one thing that you can't get back that we know for sure is time, and I truly appreciate your time and your listenership. For those of you who have been with us a long time, I truly appreciate it. And so thank you, everyone out there, for your listenership and support. So let's see. Let's just get into it, Julia. What did we listen to?
I want to talk about what I'm drinking.
Oh,
first.
yeah, because no craft beer podcast would be a good craft beer podcast if we didn't talk about that.
The beer event boxes have us all out of sorts today.
All kinds
they're not
of stuff
exploding
actually
this
has
year, but
us.
it's
They did not this year.
Fantastic.
Go back and listen to a year ago when you can hear the cans
exploding in the background.
Yeah, just
Oh my gosh! If I remember, I'll try to put that show episode in the show notes.
yeah,
But because you can kind of hear some of the
popping.
going on behind.
Actually,
us.
we're sitting at a table where those exploding cans were.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were.
So, and no, that is no fault on or reflection on Higher Gravity.
No, not
as a matter of fact,
Not at
it's
all.
it's the highest of reflections because as soon as they noticed that something was off, they immediately went into action, took all those beers out of the boxes, and then
and
replaced
we're able
them.
to get new, just as incredible beers to replace them with.
Yeah. So they made sure not to sacrifice on quality for you.
Correct. So, Marco, what's in your glass tonight?
I have it's a new one on the board.
Yep.
Rothaus Pils.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. They're new to town, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
From Germania.
Germania. We say things right here in the Americas.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying Spectral Alphabet, which is a New England IPA from Branch and Bone. I haven't had a Branch and Bone beer in a while. Saw it up on the tap board and went,
It's been a while.
that sounds good. It has been a while. And I'm really enjoying it. It's fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good.
All right, we have 4 pieces of Cincinnati craft beer media to tell you about today, and we have plans. So what do you say we get right into it? Marco, did you happen to listen to, we talked about this a bit last week, but we're going to do an actual recap this week. Sonder Stories, Chapter 101.
We did.
Family Traditions.
Yep.
Awesome. Monday's episode of Brew Skies Booze News.
I did watch that, yeah.
All right. I know that you were present for the Weekly Pint.
Yes, we did engage on, interact on the Weekly Pint.
Absolutely. And then one that came out, I think, 2.5 weeks ago, but just timing-wise, it didn't fit in because...
Has it been that long?
Yeah, this one was...
Shit.
Yeah, because we had a couple other things last week, so this one got bumped. The Jungle Gyms International podcast with 2 hours worth of beer talk, and it was amazing.
I did watch that.
Nice. I listened to it. I have not watched it because that's a lot of time for me to just be sitting trying to either...
Well, yeah, it was in more than
that.
one sit session.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I did watch it.
Where do you want to start?
I would like to start with Jungle Gyms since it was the longest hanging out there.
All right, let's do this. This was episode 112, Thanksgiving Toy Drive that will open your third eye. Brewing. So there were 2 different conversations that happened in this episode.
After the King's Hawaiian Rolls.
After the King's Hawaiian Rolls. Cannot tell you how important the King's Hawaiian Roll segment was.
Didn't realize there were 2 different types. I thought it was just the one.
I thought it was just the one. Right,
yeah.
Right. I was educated.
Learned something new. Boom.
Every single day. It was absolutely fantastic. After that, they talked to the team from Third Eye Brewing about the new Hamilton location. And then later on, they talked to like 37 different breweries about an event that has already happened, the Giving Thanks Pint Night and Toy Drive that happened on Wednesday, November the 22nd.
Oh, so it's as we record tomorrow, but as you listen 2 days ago.
Correct. So these conversations that Mark has with breweries are always ridiculously fun. It's a 2-hour episode, but it's a fun 2 hours. I'm not going to say it didn't feel like 2 hours because you could tell, oh my gosh, this is going,
But yeah,
but it was fun.
It
was fun. It was engaging. So don't let the timestamp of this episode scare you away.
It was also just Mark wanted to take it a little bit differently than he has taken the beer podcast
right
in the past, whereas a little more Q&A, a little more sort of get to the point. These 2 both conversations, which were much more
off the cuff.
Yeah, a free flow conversation. He did have a slight bit of structure to it, but that doesn't mean it's stuck to topic.
Right.
Which is cool.
It did, but without it being driven back to it, like I always try to do whenever we get so way in the weeds.
Right.
So they, in both of the segments, both the Third Eye segment and the Giving Thanks Pint Night segment, they were drinking a bunch of the different beers from the different breweries.
Yeah.
That's kind of boring for us to say, and then they drank this, and they talked about this, and then they drank that, and this is what they thought about that. We don't want to let you know what everyone thought about all the beers.
Yeah, we don't really do that ever.
Right. So the notes that I took, which may match your notes, Mark, you'll have to let me know, were more, where are your notes? Get those. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, there's a good amount of overlap here. Fantastic. What I wanted to touch on were some of the tangents and the non-beer things that they mentioned, because those are the parts of the conversations that really made me go, someone is going to have such a good time listening to this that they've never listened to the Jungle Gyms International podcast before, because of just how much fun they had doing what they were doing.
Right.
So to start with the Third Eye segment, let's see, the first thing that they talked about was the new Hamilton location, because that just opened up, and that's pretty close to the Jungle Gyms Fairfield location, so they're like, welcome to the neighborhood, more or less. I mean, we all know Hamilton and Fairfield are pretty much the exact same place.
And I like the way that the Third Eye guys really complimented Mark Borison as well, because he does a fantastic job. And,
Oh God, yeah.
they made sure to say right off the get-go is like, what can you say about Mark Borison that hasn't been said about the west side of Cincinnati?
That's true.
And
That's true.
As someone who loves the west side of Cincinnati, I mean,
that was really cool. That was very, very cool.
Yeah.
The Third Eye guys were incredibly humble when asked what makes Third Eye so special.
it's the third eye.
It's what was them.
Yeah.
They were like, well,
It's
the
them.
third eye, but that's kind of the obvious answer. But it's us.
Open up your third
It's
eye
us.
and realize it's Kelly
us. It's
and
Kelly
the team.
and the team. Absolutely. And I can't say that they're wrong about that.
No.
Let's see. They cornered the market on sweat and beard, BEARD, focused beer. Which, if you go to Third Eye.
That's a big claim,
and
but you know what?
read the
When you have
descriptors-
one of the best brewers, not just in the city, not just in the state, but in the entire
world.
yeah, you can make claims like that.
Absolutely. They are literally dripping their blood, sweat, beard hairs into every single batch that you're drinking.
Just not urine. They don't do that.
No. There are limits. There are regulations.
Absolutely.
here. We are better than China.
Yo. Of course.
Let's see. What are some of the other things that they touch on that were not beer related, but that were just amazing conversation points? Goats to mow your yard.
Yes.
So,
they
Marco,
did.
you and I both typically have yard people that do our yards because, why not?
Yeah,
Have
shout
you
out to
ever-
Ken. Hoping you're doing well, buddy.
And to Jason on the west side. Would you ever get a goat or two to take care of your lawn care needs?
My mother-in-law and father-in-law had a goat
Really?
to take care
Okay.
of their lawn care
Nice.
needs.
How'd that work?
Unfortunately, he passed away, but yeah,
So then they had to get
it was
another goat?
yeah, it was efficient.
Gotcha.
Now living in they moved and they live more in a neighborhood in a city than they had
they
some
kind of frown upon the goatage.
They did. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
They did.
All right. If you live in an area where you can get goats to do your lawn care, though, go for it.
Yeah, I'd say do
Environmentally
it.
friendly, sustainable.
Absolutely.
There are no negatives to it, really. The Nirvana or Bus can double as a temporary tattoo.
I love that.
I love that too, and I've never tried it. I've never licked the can before, but now next time I see it, I'm going to buy a 4-pack,
Yep,
and
and
I'm
just-
going to just full sleeves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's going to
Put
be
it on there.
It's going to be fantastic.
This is brilliant, by the way.
It really is.
They probably
That was-
should win an award for that.
Why haven't they?
Well, they probably have. That's why they also discussed that they have so many awards that they had to open another location
To store all the
to
awards.
store all the awards.
It tracks. It absolutely tracks. Homebrewing is parallel to pizza making,
Yeah.
which at first I'm kind of like, how are you going to draw these lines? Okay, I'm a little iffy. It made perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
Especially the mess that gets everywhere, regardless of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And for the Third Eye Hamilton's second anniversary, they have promised it. I believe it is written in blood on the walls of the Jungle Jim's podcast studio.
They use blood, so
There is going to be a cage wrestling match.
that's right.
It is going to be amazing.
Epic.
And I've already bought my tickets.
This is from the Mark who
Yeah.
did bathe in Cincinnati chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I now have that image back in my head.
You're welcome.
Not sure if I want to thank you for that one.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Third Eye Brewing part of this episode? It was a hell of a lot of fun. Like, I was laughing. All right, the second part of the episode, which started about the 1 hour mark, the Giving Thanks Pint Night and Toy Drive, which was, I'm going to say was because by the time you hear this, it has already happened.
Right.
Which was hosted, sponsored by Mantry 50 West Bells, New Belgium.
Yep.
Fantastic group of breweries. And they had some amazing conversations. They had representatives from each of the breweries in studio. So when you get a group like that together, off the rails immediately, which I was 100% in for, especially after the off-topic-edness of the Third Eye portion of this.
Oh, for sure.
Could not have been a better episode. They partnered with the Play Library, so the toys that were donated, or I don't know if you can still donate after the fact, go to Jungle Jim's, get a new toy that's not a stuffed toy because you can't really sanitize those.
Right.
And try to donate them to the Play Library to where kids can kind of check out toys to play with and then return them. They'll get sanitized and cleaned up, and then another child can enjoy it for a bit, which I think is an absolutely fantastic cause.
Great cause.
One of the first things that they touched on is the dangers of megaphones with sound effects. Can you imagine if we had one of those?
I bought Rachel one for Christmas one year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, how often has she used it?
Well, I used it. I bought it for her because it was something that I thought would be great for her because she directed plays and she did a lot with. She was also the sponsor or the coach for the high school dance team.
Yeah,
so there's
you
a lot
need to
of
project. There's a lot of projection that most people's voices just can't do. Yeah.
So I thought
Nice.
she used it, occasionally.
Yeah, all right. Did she ever use like the siren or any of the sound effects from it, or did
Yeah, I
she
think
just
so.
use it to nice?
Yeah.
So sea mantry, they can be useful.
It can be useful.
They can actually be a
They're
practical.
like the elderly. Every now and then they can be useful.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, where did that come from? Oh man, wasn't expecting you to say that, but that was fantastic. Some of the other things, they talked about the beers that were at the pint night. Some of them may still be on tap. They sounded amazing.
Yeah.
They're not the typical beers. The one that stood out to me that I went, ooh, maybe
I know which one. Rum Barrel Aged Thunder Snow.
Holy shit. Yeah.
And nobody mentioned it.
No.
So they went around the table and they did 2 rounds of this where each representative had to name the beer they were most excited about on the pint night.
Yes.
Then everybody had to go around the horn and answer what beer they liked the most from each brewery.
Yeah.
So, but nobody said that they were psyched or tuned up for the Rum Barrel Aged Thunder Snow.
Not just Thunder Snow. Rum Barrel Aged Thunder Snow.
Oh, it's so
Oh my
good.
God.
It's got to be so good.
I hope. Ooh, I need to keep an eye on. I wonder if that's going to show up in the tap room because that's easier for me to get to than
Yeah.
Jungle Jim's.
Yeah.
But man,
Fairfield location.
No one said it, and I'm
No one.
like, I kept waiting, and I was practically.
What's wrong with these people?
As the episode was winding down, I started going, "Oh God, no one's going to mention it," and I was
I yelled
practically
it
screaming
at the TV.
"This is what we gotta do!"
Rachel was sitting there watching it with me.
She's just like,
and
"Why?
I was like,
What?"
Rum Barrel Aged Thunder Snow, damn it.
Right, and no one said it. What the hell is wrong with people?
What the F?
From there, from no one, this actually is kind of a good tie-in. From nobody mentioning Rum Barrel Aged Thunder Snow after Mantary's like, yeah, this is what we got. They talked about the douchebag-to-pretzel necklace ratio.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
Classic. I've
Oh,
never
that's a good
heard
one.
it described in such brilliant, crisp, it was the perfect description of it.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I don't know how you found us as a podcast, but for those of you who
thank you
don't know,
for
but thank
finding
you.
us.
So we're going to do because we really do this for you, the listener. And so we're going to explain that pretzel necklaces happen at beer events.
Yes.
And what do you like? Pretzel? Like, yes. Like hard pretzels, soft pretzels, all kinds of pretzels. And sometimes they put other products on there like
Pickles,
beef sticks.
mini corn dogs.
The beef sticks that have the cheese stick.
Yeah,
with them,
like the just string cheese
string cheese
on there.
all that.
The little Baby Bell cheeses.
Yes.
Yes. And yeah, there is a definite correlation between the people wearing them
And douchebaggery.
and people that are acting in a douchebag-like fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are not calling them
no.
douchebags. We are saying they are acting like
Correct.
a douchebag.
Correct.
Yes. So
You can be
that is not
you can
a
be a
personal
perfectly
attack.
wonderful person, but every now and then you have your moment. Happens to the best of us,
Acting
except for me and Mark.
like a douchebag.
All right, couple other notes on this episode, and then we will just jump into the next thing that we've got going on.
Yep.
Let's see. Budweiser is good for exactly one thing, and one thing only.
Bunkers.
Being a bulletproof fort.
Yep.
True story. And I was surprised there wasn't a bigger reaction to that story either. I'm like,
No, did not phase the crowd.
no. So I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing at like 50 West and Mantry and all that to where this is not shocking to you?
Right.
Which just terrifies me about going into, some of the places
Right.
that I go into to get my beer. Not that I'm buying Bud, but good to know that if you're being shot at, you can just hide behind
Budweiser.
cases of them and
Cases of Budweiser.
you should be okay, more
Yeah.
okay than if you're not.
Or if someone comes out and tries to stab you, then you can just pick up a case
And just huck it at them.
Huck it at them,
Yeah,
or like use it like
As a shield.
As a shield.
Breastplate and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That led into drugs,
Yeah.
as is the natural progression of things.
Of course.
Beer baseball cards.
Yeah.
With like the brewery and some of their core beers and some of the stats. I'm in for it.
Not a bad idea.
I would absolutely buy
Not a
this.
terrible idea.
I'm actually kind of surprised that...
There are worse ideas.
I'm actually surprised that some of the local breweries around here have not done something like that. Yeah, like everyone has like the stickers, or not everyone, but a lot of breweries will have the stickers with, like a little logo of one of their core beer, a can or the bottle.
Closest
with the
thing
label.
I've seen locally is the Common Beer Company had decks of cards that had the faces of Mark and Amy on them, and then Maggie, and then I
that's
think
cool.
Mikey P.
I think we talked about that once because that's fantastic.
So they had
yeah,
decks
baseball
of cards there.
Beers and some of like maybe the ownership, some of the brewers, that type of thing. Some
Right.
the long-term staff. I think that would be fantastic. I'd love it. And then the last note that I had on this episode: burning Bob Ross into toast and grilled cheeses.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that grilled cheeses was a thing, because that was
Yeah.
even a whole episode on. Oh shit!
Was it
Oh shit! What was the singing high school show?
Glee?
Glee.
Yeah, I know.
That
I'm
was
like,
a whole episode of cheeses.
it's fantastic. We all could use more Bob Ross and cheeses in our lives.
Yeah.
Well, maybe no cheeses for you. You're gonna have to find some other
do it.
deity to right.
Yeah.
Right. We'll
Vegan
find
cheeses.
something else. Visas.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Vivas.
Oh my God. The episode 112 of the Jungle Gyms International podcast. It's long, but it is so worth the listen. It is hilarious from start to finish, except for the part about the Little King's Hawaiian rolls. That's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. But hey,
Somebody out there makes
out there. I'm sure
make
it's a
some
thing.
Hawaiian rolls with Little Kings in them.
So you know what? That is now my treat. The Little King's Hawaiian sweet rolls. That part blew my mind. The rest of it just made me laugh so hard my stomach hurt. So definitely check out. Definitely Rita, check out this episode. Marco,
Julia.
25 minutes in. Do you want to talk about the Weekly Pint, Brew Skies Booze News, or Sonder Stories?
Sonder Stories, because
right.
again, that's going back to last week.
Correct. This is chapter 101, which, man, they pulled a fast one on us by releasing 2 episodes back to back, and I could not be more happy about it. Family Tradition 2023. By the time you're listening to this, probably everything is probably sold out as we're recording this.
Everything's
not just
sold out as we're
listen to
recording.
it,
Unless you want a glass.
which is phenomenal for them. They had limited quantities of the glassware too, so I would not be surprised
Could
if
be
those are
sold out.
sold out. Right.
It was 12:33 when I logged in. There was only one beer that you could purchase.
One left.
And I don't know how many were left after that.
Mm-hmm.
So within 33 minutes, they sold almost everything.
Right, and this year what they did for the Family Tradition release is you ordered it online one day, or as long as those beers lasted. And then you give Sonder a couple days before you're even able to pick up your beer. So while this episode releases on Black Friday is the first day to pick up whatever beer you may have been able to purchase from Sonder in the taproom. The Mason taproom only, not the West Chester location, which maybe we'll know something about that by the time this episode comes out.
Think you will.
Fingers crossed. Cannot wait.
Think you will.
And then you have a couple days. You have until Tuesday the 28th at 10 p.m. is the cutoff to pick up your beers. Anything that is not picked up just gets donated. The ownership will just drink it themselves.
Yep.
They will down them bottles. But some of the fun things about this episode that aren't about the release, they obviously talked about each and every variant. So that was the majority of the episode.
We could go over that, but they're sold out. So no need to talk about it.
And they talked about every single variant, and Gnome also talked about every single variant on Weekly Pint. So this would be 3 different shows talking about every single variant. We don't do that to you guys.
It's
Plenty of
worthy
other places
content.
are
Go
doing
find
it.
it.
Right. Plenty of other places do it much better than what we are doing. This episode had Justin, Chad, Jess, and Danny, and they started with what is the worst food to eat while podcasting? I don't think we've ever run into that issue before. But
we haven't. Because
but
you experimented on another podcast.
Yes, I played around.
Anything
with
crunchy
is a no-go. Anything super sticky.
Yeah,
super
anything super
chewy
sticky
is probably a no-go.
There's some stuff at Walmart that's super sticky and also burns.
Oh, that's probably stuff you should be eating, Marco. Do we need to? Were you?
No, I just heard about it. I just heard about it on a podcast. Anyways, what
There
what you got?
were. I have a couple notes here that we already talked about, kind of out of order, which is absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
They covered why pre-order online first and then not have pickup immediately after, and why are they doing things the way they're
Pretty
doing
easy
them
to
this
figure
year.
it out.
It is very easy to
But
figure out.
go and listen.
Absolutely go and listen. And I mean, they were right. There's a ton of stuff happening on Black Friday, so they didn't want people to be stuck at one location hoping for the chance to get bottles when there are plenty of other things or other places that they need to be doing things at or that they want to visit. So that was
What's
good
so
on
smart
them.
too is that for anybody that didn't do pre-sale like this, not only they got the opportunity to grab your dollars first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So not only are they making
Well,
it
technically,
easier for everybody.
Dark Charge released theirs
Yeah.
online. But yeah, I know
Yes.
what you're saying. I know what
But
you're saying. Yeah.
Yes. But it,
Yeah. Now, there will be some, as this releases, this comes out on Black Friday, there will be some vintage family tradition on tap on Black Friday, as well as all the variants that they released today, or, as we recorded this. Something else we already touched on. Is West Chester open yet? Marky, you said that rumor has it soon.
rumor has it
Rumor
that
has it. Was that Adele?
yeah Adele. Rumor has it there's a soft opening happening as we speak.
Where was our invite?
Well, about that.
Danny?
Yeah.
Danny, you know where to find us. What's going
Yeah.
on?
What the F?
Maybe he knew that we were recording,
busy.
and he knew that was just
Yeah,
our
we're
top
busy.
priority. Absolutely. Favorite Halloween candy? Man, when they talked about this, I could picture Gnome just screaming at the top of his lungs because of the pronunciation
Yeah.
of one of their favorite
It's-
Halloween candies.
And he said this is the debate
Oh, my
every
God.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
understand why we have to have this discussion
because
every
people don't
Thanksgiving.
believe in pronunciation of words.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
yeah. Last note that I had on this episode, because again, a lot of it was, this is the variant, this is what it tastes like, this is what we think will sell out first, second, third, which I'm kind of curious. I need to go back and re-listen to see if, just based off of social media posts, if they were correct in all of their assumptions or not. Yeah. Saunders got some big-ass fire pits.
Yeah. Yeah. Big ass fire pits.
Do you bring your own marshmallows?
I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sure that's fine.
Works for me.
Somebody's going to win a solo stove tonight or tomorrow night.
That's
well,
true.
as we record tomorrow night,
Yes.
someone's going to win a
Solo stove.
Mad Tree. Isn't it a Mad Tree
Metro
solo?
branded solo stove.
That's awesome.
50 West branded vintage cooler, a new Belgian bicycle, branded golf bags, and that's again going back to the Jungle Gyms podcast.
Jungle Gym Pod.
Yeah, yeah.
But what's the name of the beer Saunders releasing?
Family tradition?
All right. So there's no S at the end of that, people.
No. There is
People's commenting online.
People's
It's
who are
family
going to
tradition.
the Krogers and the Walmarts. There is
Yeah.
exactly. See
Meet
the
at
dog
Saunders.
there? Meet at Saunders.
Hey,
for the
have you been
family
to Saunders?
traditions. Yes.
Yeah. It's family tradition.
Family tradition, singular, even though it's a collective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else on Saunders stories?
No, I'm done with them.
I hope for good.
No, just about this.
Just about.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we see episode 102.
Although we didn't get the invite.
No, we didn't. So maybe.
We're kind of used to it at this
Okay,
point.
so at this,
it does hurt our
okay,
feelings.
So what we need to do is next week pick up our bottles of Family Tradition, and then we'll be done with Sonder. Because I mean, we gotta get our bottle
What
right. You know?
I was just done with this podcast. I wasn't done with them.
Well, that's not as dramatic though as saying.
Oh, okay.
You know, you see what I'm doing here? Yeah. I got to play into it a little more. All right.
Dramatize it.
Dramatize all of this. Do you want to move into Brew Skies Booze news or the Weekly Pint?
I don't have.
Do you want to take a break? Oh, you don't. All right. Take a quick break because Marco needs a beer. That is unacceptable on my
And a
front.
water.
I apologize. Would you? Well, I'll grab water too. We'll be right back. We have made it back. And I'm still enjoying my New England IPA from Branch and Bone, but Marco, you have something fresh and new and exciting.
Yeah, I
What
got
has you-
Henry Street Pilsner from Equilibrium. Yeah.
Nice. What you think?
Yeah, it tastes like a Pilsner.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, getting up in that mic there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we have 2 shows left to recap, and then we are going to pack up and head down south
Yeah.
for a bit, because
Going down
it's
south.
motherfucking Kolsch night.
It's Kolsch night.
I love Kolsch night so much. All right. Brew Skies Booze News or the Weekly Pint? Where do you want to go next?
Let's go Weekly Pint.
All right, Weekly Pint. This happened last night. This is episode 193. Welcome to Stout season, Cincinnati. And this is going to kind of cover some of the things we've already talked about. But why not talk about them again?
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
it
we
is our
talked
job.
about them last night,
Yes.
so got to talk about it.
Absolutely. It is the show. The Weekly Pint is the show that talks about pretty much everything.
Right.
It's supposed to be just a happy hour, so there really is no... There are no rules to what Gnome will talk about. He does like to try to talk about local beer news, things that are happening, releases, that type of stuff. But sometimes you end up just hanging out in chat, having a beer, while Gnome's, housing stouts
Right.
for an hour
Right.
live on air. It's fantastic.
Really tough for him. I mean, of course, this is something that, as you watch and we know already, really tough for him to get through a beer when he has to carry the show for 45 minutes or so.
I do think that once he gets the drunk line and kind of the guest situation a little more nailed down, which it sounds like he's been working a lot on lately, I think that will make it easier for him, because I always feel bad that he's like, oh man, there's this amazing beer, let me try it, oh, this is fantastic, I'm so excited to drink this, and then he takes like 2 sips. I need to start doing a sip count for the Weekly Pint.
Ooh.
See how much he actually is able to drink during the Weekly Pint.
Like
That's something new. Yeah, let's do
like
that.
it. Okay.
And maybe just for Gnome, maybe his sip count will just be 1 ounce per sip and not 2, even though that doesn't sound as grandiose as a total. Ooh, heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. Stay with 2 ounces.
That's it.
All right, so Gnome, be prepared. Weekly Pint, we're counting
There's
your
a
sips.
coin on the table when we got here.
Yeah.
So we just decided
A nice
to
shiny
go
penny,
ahead and
heads up, so just leave it. Yeah,
flip it.
absolutely. Gnome loves jugs, and really, who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
I mean, if you say you don't, you're lying.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Love jugs.
I don't believe you. Jugs are so useful, and
Yeah.
I mean, really, you should be handling them every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cincinnati Stout season is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
However, with Dark Charge, Family Tradition, and even Demogorgon Day, because that typically happens a month-ish prior to Dark Charge and Family
Right.
Tradition.
They're not having a
It's just-
fight for the.
Right. But my God, it is a strain, and Gnome talked about this a little farther into the show. It's a strain on like the wallet and figuring out where
It is,
do you
yeah.
put your money, because the prices of these drinks are not getting any cheaper. It's not like, the base Dark Charge this year is going to be, a $12, bottle or can, whatever they have, versus, the very first year when maybe it was $15. It's like, no, those prices are staying the same, if not going up, because of the cost of materials. And with all of these amazing stouts that are released in Cincinnati coming out so close to each other, like I look at it and go, okay, where do I focus my money? And then traveling to the different breweries to pick it up, because even though Dark Charge, you can get your order shipped to you, that's only if you do a full allocation of what they have, which is like, I think with shipping and all that, it was like $250 or $300
Ooh.
to do the full
That hurts.
allocation. And that's the only way to get it shipped. You either do the full allocation and have it shipped, or you kind of cherry pick what you want, and then you go down to the tap room.
In Family Tradition, I think it was $7.
Were they
ship.
shipping it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I
could
didn't notice
select
that.
the ship
okay.
option.
I just immediately did the pickup, and
Of
I
course,
just
I did
wasn't.
too, but
yeah,
I did see the ship option.
Okay. All right. So I mean, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do.
The other thing it reminds me of too is that there not only are stouts coming out and everything, but everybody's holiday beers are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Tree's, the one that they did with the fucking cranberries or whatever the shit it was back a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. I can picture the can, but for some
That's
reason I
for
can't picture
Thanksgiving.
the name. But yeah, you
And
do.
then-
You have like the holiday out from West Side.
Yeah.
You have
Fucking.
the that's out from Street, or a High Grain.
High Grain.
You have.
But they also have.
What's 50 West's? Not the Thanksgiving one, not Coming Home, or
They do Christmas cookie.
Christmas cookie. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all
Santa's
those are coming
Bride
out
from Taft's.
But those are typically not like big releases the way that the stouts
Well,
are.
they're not big price points the way that
True.
the stouts are.
True, very
so
true.
if you're looking to pick up a 6-pack of Christmas ale or something like that, it's not going to set you back the way a bottle
Trying
or
to get-
two,
right,
a
family tradition,
Family
dark
tradition,
charge.
yeah.
Agree.
But yeah, fucking. But they also do. They also do a barrel aged beer release from High Grain.
Yep.
Which I haven't
Yep.
heard any commotion about yet. But
no.
it usually comes out around holiday season.
It does, yeah.
Because I think I picked some up as Christmas gifts one year.
Holiday season is the season to release your big beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving into the actual train of conversation from the Weekly Pint. This shouldn't be news to any of you guys that are listening, but Taft's Ale House is closing. By the time this episode comes out, you will have exactly one more day to visit. I believe their last day is Saturday the 25th.
Yeah.
I've been to the Ale House a handful of times. It was always fine. Beautiful space, absolutely gorgeous location. I'm sure that place was hemorrhaging money, both with the location, the rent. I'm sure they didn't own the building or the space. I don't know.
If they did, I
but-
mean, I don't know how it would make financial sense to
Right.
not stay.
They were blaming it pretty much all on COVID. Like, because of COVID, there was this and this and this and this. And they haven't gone without some little controversies from that point, from the pandemic up through today, which watch the episode or listen to the episode if Gnome Pup pushes it out to podcatchers. I don't think we need to dive too deep into it.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Gnome's statement of, I feel like I should have some bigger emotions about this, but I don't. Not that I don't care, I do, but it doesn't sting the way that certain other breweries,
Yeah.
even certain other breweries with multiple locations, if they said one of them was going to be closing, would impact me.
Yeah.
Which
I agree.
Which I don't know. It's odd. I don't know if that's just how everything has changed, but I don't know. Very, very interesting. It is sad. I am glad to see that Taft's is at least saying that they're going to be trying to do what they can for their employees to help them get other positions elsewhere. Best of luck to everyone that is affected by it, because even if you can transition into another position somewhere else within Taft's, I mean, that's still a big change for a lot of people that they were not intending to happen around the holidays. So, kind of wish they could have not done it right before the holidays, but I mean, there's never a good time.
No, there's not.
You know,
but
so,
yeah, doing it
I don't
around the
know.
holidays does suck a little bit more.
No went over every single Dark Charge and Family Tradition variant that is being released, or that has been released as we're recording this.
Yeah.
And really, the Dark Charge this year, like, I would like to try them all, but none of them really had me super excited other than the Bourbon Cream, which you can only get if you go down to Dark Charge Day. So that'll be kind of a maybe. I'll try to go down there. Maybe I'll try to see if someone wants to proxy for me, because
Yeah, Julie, I've known,
I just don't.
I've known you long enough to understand that maybe means like I'm not getting down there, but the thought of it is
right.
still-
It's like, man, I would really like to, but now I might wake up on December 2nd and be like, you know what? I'm feeling motivated.
What?
I want to deal with the crowds and the parking and the nonsense, and I'm going to go down there and maybe not even get one. Because it's sold out already. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Teaser of a new live feature for the Weekly Pint, screen sharing.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. I'm very, I love to see the progression of how the Weekly Pint is becoming more and more of a full-fledged production. Even though at the same time, it's like I do kind of miss the days when it was literally just, hey, so here in the studio, we can't be around each other yet, so let's just virtually drink and talk about random stuff. There was, some nice warm fuzzies nostalgia about like the original way the show was when it wasn't a show. But man, what he's working on doing with it, I could not be more excited to see how that happens.
I'm excited as well.
Awesome. Let's see, what else do we have so we can kind of get through all of this. Dark Charge in cans.
Yeah.
In my opinion, bottles were part of the whole Dark Charge experience. Those hand-dipped wax top bottles. I understand cans. I mean, Big Bad Baptist is in cans now, and that just looks weird to me as well. I get it, but it just doesn't.
There has to
hit
be
the same.
There has to be some sort of financial reason to
sure.
do this.
I'm
But
sure glass bottles are expensive, even if they don't wax dip them. You know,
I don't.
the time.
I don't
but
know.
I don't know.
I don't know that they're any less expensive than, or any
Yeah.
more expensive than cans.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I am not around any of that, so I don't know. But just to me, bottles always seemed more expensive.
I don't think Dark Charge is distributed though, right?
No,
It's only sold in the tap room.
Didn't they talk about potentially distributing to like
That would be
very,
a reason
very
to do it.
limited? Well, didn't they do like maybe I'm thinking of something else? Wasn't last year? Didn't they do a tiny distribution of maybe it was just their base or something to like? I'm probably making that up. So if you know what I'm talking about, because I want to say some big company that typically doesn't distribute some of their bigger beers did a very small distribution of a barrel-aged release last year, the year before. I could be making this up. I could be just false memories. But yeah, if they do want to try to start distributing in some vein.
False Memories is a
but
good name for a beer.
It really is. I'm sure someone's done it. Maybe. Or maybe they forgot. Maybe they meant to. And they no longer have the memory. 50 West is releasing Hop H2O. Their own hop water, which I'm excited to try.
Yay.
I think it's a nice alternative to just drinking water in between your beers. Peppermint schnapps season is just about here, so get ready for all the peppermint schnapps in all the things. And be on the lookout for an all Malort podcast coming soon, where Gnome just shows up at a random place with a bottle of Malort
You say
and
false
sits down
memory?
with someone. False memory, yeah, okay. Couple breweries have put that
Celestial
out.
Beer Works.
Nice.
Triple New England Hazy.
If Gnome shows up at your home, your place of work, higher gravity, with some Malort and says, "Hey, have some of this with me," would you do it?
I would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would.
Those are all the notes that I had on this episode of Weekly Pint. How about you, Marco?
Yeah, that's all I got.
I had? All right.
I was
cool.
there. You were there.
We were there. And for those of you that weren't there, either watch the episode on Facebook or YouTube, or Gnome tries to push them out as podcasts. So look for it on your podcatcher of choice. And if you're free on a Monday night around 9:30 p.m., join us.
Join us.
It's a lot of fun. Join us. Join the cult.
What else are you
The
doing?
cult of Gnome. Right, exactly.
Watching like the Texans or some shit? I mean,
Boo.
yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No.
All right. Last last craft beer media that we have to talk about is Brew Skies Booze News.
The booze news.
Is a whiskey highball just beer?
No.
I agreed. We're going to answer that at the beginning. They wait until the end.
They tease it at the
They tease it. They're
beginning,
like, yeah,
answer
we're-
it at the end. It's like, let me just go ahead and tell you no.
It's like, no, I 100%.
Hey, Bret and Mike? No.
Exactly. But, I see the train of thought, like, you know what, maybe this could be, but when it all boils down to it, no.
Yeah, no.
This was only a just under 24-minute episode, and it was prefaced by the two of them saying, just so you guys know, this episode is going to suck. And it kind of did. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. I still enjoyed it.
It was good.
Bret and Mike, I'm fucking with you guys. It was a great episode,
great episode.
and you didn't seem as hungover as you probably felt that you were.
Right.
Based on what you told us, not what I'm projecting onto you.
Yeah.
Sun Cruiser, a new hard tea from Boston Beer. Is that a good idea? Is that something the way they should be taking it? And to me, why do you need a new hard tea when Twisted Tea is still the ultimate weapon? Like, quite literally.
The ultimate weapon.
The ultimate weapon.
They think it's a good idea, or they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to put millions of dollars into trying to make it work, and then it's
Yeah.
going to fucking die.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? If I see it, I'll definitely try it. I have no qualms about it. I just don't know if it's what we need from Boston Beer. I would like to see more beer
Right.
coming from them.
How about some beer?
Is Jim Cook crying over the state of what people are drinking? Kind of tying into the hard teas and the seltzers and the non-beer beverages when he built up Boston Beer on his
He probably is, and he
Rambler's
takes out a
lager
$100
recipe.
bill from his pocket and wipes
Wipes
his
it off.
tears away. And
Yeah.
says, you know what? If I want to keep making money, let's just keep trying to find the next best thing.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but I wonder how much it actually does bother him, if it even does at all. Maybe he's just kind of like, I don't really care anymore.
I think he's too busy to be bothered with, whether or not beer is more or less than 20% of his total portfolio.
Yeah. Bret started making up words and drugs
Yes.
to talk about, which wasn't sure how that tied into beer necessarily. That could have been more the non-alcoholic news, but
there was a drug talk.
kratom, don't do it,
Right.
Unless you want to eat people's faces off.
Yep.
I don't know, sounds terrible. Most people don't know that they're binge drinkers, which binge drinking is classified as having 6+ drinks a night, at least once a month or more.
I need them to mind their own damn business.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think it's an interesting step, because what if you're someone who gets, kind of, I hate saying the term lightweight, because I don't think that it should matter how much you can or can't drink before you're drunk. What if you're someone that, one drink and you're just gone?
I think
you're doing that every single night.
Those are two
it's
different
just
things.
One drink. Yeah.
Whether you test over the legal limit to a drunk versus how you're actually feeling and how you're interacting.
That makes sense.
When you're, okay. It may take somebody way more than 6 4-ounce, 4%, 12-ounce beers to where they're
Dude, I would just
wanting
be
to
full.
pee on themselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But once they have more than 2, they're legally over the limit.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's a fair point. Beer sales are still down, so buy beer. Kind of all we need to say about that.
What the hell is everyone doing out there?
Buying water? I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, the hop water. Everyone's out there buying hop water.
We got some more investment and financial advice.
Always
from Bret and Mike.
Look forward to a weekly piece of financial advice.
Yes. Buy land in Canada. That's what the financial advice is. If you can find, what would the stock name? You know how businesses have a 3-character whatever thing for their stock stuff?
Yeah.
What would Canada's land, what would that stock symbol be?
Let's see. CAH.
Okay.
Yeah. For Canada, America's hat.
I was thinking SRY. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Siri.
You find
Siri.
those, pump all your money into them after you buy a whole bunch of beer to keep the beer business going. Then we got some medical advice from Bret and Mike about Ozempic.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to curb your wine drinking,
I don't know why this keeps being a thing.
Because it's the big popular thing for rich people to do right now. So it's
silly.
Apparently the thing.
So silly. Wasn't there there was another podcast where they did a whole podcast about Ozempic. It was
was it that wasn't Brewbound.
All About Beer?
Was it All About Beer?
I think it was All About Beer.
Yeah, I do remember. I remember listening. Yeah,
and they had experts on that basically said, yes, there is evidence of this to the 1% to the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
That, but then that 1% is this variable, and so no, it's not a big deal.
Right. Agreed. Bring back the importance of vocational education, which I am
totally
100%
totally
in agreement
agree.
for. Everyone needs those services, and those people who excel at those services, my God, you can make a killing. They're always going to be needed. So I don't know why for so long things like plumbers, HVAC, electrical, work done with your hands, why is that looked down upon? It's that's what builds America. That's what builds
I think
our communities.
The generations long thought process of, hey, go and do and be better than me as a generation, me quote unquotes from generations ago. I get it, where somebody had to work with their hands and make a menial living or anything, but things have progressed and changed, and you don't have to necessarily work for a union, and you don't necessarily have to go and go about things the way they did in the 1920s, 30s, or 50s. Mm-hmm. Things have progressed a lot more now, and so just because you have a particular skill doesn't mean you have a very particular set of skills. It doesn't mean that you have to go and be part of a cog in a machine.
Right.
You can you can branch out and do your own thing. Now,
Yeah.
so a lot of times being a cog in a machine is a way you learn.
Sure.
And then you're able to spread your wings and go do other,
Do your own things.
other
Agreed.
things. Yeah.
Agreed. I had one more note from this episode, and then the sip count.
Okay.
So before I get into that, did you have anything else that you wanted to chuck out there?
No.
Jesus, Liam,
Where the hell?
come from?
Hell.
Dude, he must have been hiding behind beer vent
I know,
boxes.
beer
there's
vent
no,
boxes.
There's
He
nowhere
must have
else.
jumped out.
You can't see anyone
Can't
because
see
of
him
that.
over there.
One of the non-alcoholic stories of the day: fistfights on the Senate floor. That should just explain the
Did you
state
see that?
of it. Yeah.
Where somebody is
Freaking
like,
Bernie Sanders had to try to rescue. I don't. I
if
just. I
Bernie
don't even.
Sanders, if Bernie Sanders
I-
has to come in between you and a fight,
You, question everything you're doing. Like
Yeah.
just stop. Sip count this week, pretty good. Again, this was an episode that was 23 minutes and 44 seconds long,
okay,
and we are sticking because the penny has spoken. We are sticking.
the penny has spoken.
We are sticking. Trying to put
Sticking.
speaking and sticking in the same word, and that didn't work.
You know what else is sticky?
That penny?
No.
Oh. Then I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, never mind.
In this 23-minute and 44-second episode, they had a total of 45 sips,
45 sips.
which is, according to us, 90 ounces.
Wow, 90 ounces.
Which I think I figured out how they're doing it, because they're like, you watch them refill their glasses. You only see them refilling them a bit. I bet they have cup holes, and they're actually filling from the
from
bottom.
the bottom, yeah.
That way, they fill slow enough that you don't...
The
yeah,
fill from the top just to toss the can.
exactly.
It's like...
It's a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
It's smoke and mirrors. So that 90 ounces translates into 5.625 pints during this
way to
24-minute
go.
episode.
Hell yeah. That's
Good
big.
job, guys. They
job,
are
guys.
almost binge drinkers.
Yeah. Almost. They admit from the rip. Didn't drink last night.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up as we wrap up?
No, Julie, we
this
need to get
episode?
out of here and go binge drink.
Oh, Jesus. tiny binge drinks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you like what we did tonight, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell your coworkers, like, rate, review, subscribe, share. You know all the things that you're supposed to do. Let us know anything that you want to let us know. We are at Truth Beer Pod on all the social media platforms, if I can say words.
Yeah.
We are truthbeerpod@gmail.com if you have something that you want to send us, such as a beer event. And to Joe K, who, this is a week overdue, who was the first person to come up to me at Beer, Booze, Bunks, Boinks, Binks, Biscuits, and Boobs and challenge me to foaling. Once at least the Thanksgiving holiday stuff is over, we will schedule you to be on the show, because you were the first to approach.
Good job,
And
Joe K.
congratulations on that.
Also, I
Can't
want
wait
to
to
say,
see. Yeah.
as an aside, I know we didn't plan this, but as an aside, I wanted to say, shout out to the Brewer of Seville. And
Yes.
I just want to say that he made an announcement. We have covered Pint Talking once or twice. That 4-year run for that podcast is coming to an end.
Yes.
So, may
Hopefully he
you
still makes it down to Cincinnati at some point, so
Yeah.
I can get to say hi.
may you have fun and enjoy the time that you have that you are not podcasting
and editing
so-
and doing all of the things.
all of that stuff. So
Yeah, great call out. Thank you, Marco.
Yeah, no problem. So, but we're not going anywhere.
No.
other than to
Kolsch
Night.
Yes.
And then we'll be back next week.
All right, if you want to know how to find completely unedited episodes of this show, which are pretty goddamn hilarious, go to truthbeerpod.com, find the support us links, become a member of our Patreon, and get all of the fun, all of the glory, and all of the absolute nonsense that we feel doesn't need to make it to the public ears.
That's right.
It's fun. It's a good time. Ask Elijah. He will tell you it's a laugh out loud, well worth the money you are graciously giving us
Yes.
month after month. All right, Marco,
Julia.
what are you going to be doing next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, I'm going to be with you talking about Cincinnati craft beer media.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Cheers.